So lately I've been hearing a lot of mixed reactions to the Generation 8 metagame. I've been seeing a lot more people kind of disliking the Generation 8 metagame. Now that it's been a few weeks, have your guys' thoughts or opinions changed of Generation 8? Do you like it more? Do you dislike it? Do you kind of feel the same about it? For me personally, I still find it very fun, especially with UU now being released on Showdown. Been having a blast doing that. But for today's video, Get Boss of YouTube, how's it going? Have for y'all an OU Wi-Fi battle against Kurt the Buzzwell. Of course, if you guys do enjoy this, your support is greatly appreciated. Hit that thumbs up button down below, hammer arm it while you're at it, and let me know what are your thoughts on the metagame after a few weeks. So much like always on these Wi-Fi battles, this is just a team I kind of threw together. We have regular Phalanx, we have Life Orb, Gengar, Scarfed Obstagoon, Assault Vest, Grimmsnarl, Life Orb, Arctozolt, and a GIGANTAMAX Colossal. So looking at my opponent's team, I was absolutely deadly terrified of the Cinderace and the Dugtrio, because look at my team. I don't really have anything for either of those two, and they could definitely just body me. However, though, if I can bring up my Phalanx after I get rid of the Corviknight, then Phalanx can definitely pull out a victory going near the end of this game here. So I'm going to be leading off with my Scarfed Obstagoon, as he's going to be leading off with his Cinderace. Unfortunately, I don't have a switch into this, and I checked the calc, and a Reckless Double Edge, even if he has no bulk, is not an OHKO on Cinderace, which is kind of wild if you think about it. But I guess Obstagoon does only have a base 90 attack. If it was like base 100, it might have been a roll. Either way, though, I'm going to go for the parting shot, and even though I put him at -1, that U-turn does entirely way too much damage to my Grimmsnarl. I don't want Grimmsnarl to take too much damage in this game, because this is really the only thing I have for Hydreigon. But I'm really happy that he didn't end up bringing in something like Darmanitan or the Dugtrio, as he immediately brings in Hydreigon here. And this is amazing, because with the Assault Vest, even if he does have the Flash Cannon, or if he tries to Dynamax, I'm definitely going to live any one hit and get off a huge chunk of damage with Spirit Break if he Dynamaxes, or I'm just going to straight knock him out. I think maybe even if he Dynamaxes, I could have knocked him out. Either way, though, I'm going to go straight for the Spirit Break. I feel like I don't really lose anything in doing so. Whatever comes in is still going to take a decent little bit of damage, unless it's the Corviknight or he decides to bring back in the Cinderace. But then at that point, I can then hit up Cinderace with a Sucker Punch or switch out, and I'm okay with that. As he tries to go for the Flash Cannon here, he did not expect me to be Assault Vested as we eat the hit. Even though, yes, Drain Punch wasn't able to knock him out here, I thought that maybe he would try to switch out, which is why I didn't want to go for the Spirit Break again. And I felt like if I went for knockoff and he did stay in, that would have been more hopeful to me. So Drain Punch was kind of a middle ground play there. As this following turn, I don't really mind if he does end up severely weakening my Grimmsnarl, because literally the only thing I needed this for was Hydreigon, and he was able to let me get rid of that very early on in the battle, which means now I can kind of have Grimmsnarl as potentially a death fodder, or to try and waste a turn of Dynamax later in the battle. So I knock out the Hydreigon. That is awesome. However, though, this does give him a chance to either bring in Darmanitan or bring in this giant terrifying monster, which is Cinderace. And much like earlier in the battle, I don't have a switch into this, so I'm kind of forced to leave in Grimmsnarl here, but I will be able to get out of this exchange with doing about 51% of damage to the Cinderace with Sucker Punch, which is really nice, because now it's going to be a lot easier for me to pick off later in the match, especially with my Obstagoon, because that is really the only thing that I have that is faster than it. And if Gengar is able to live a hit, now I can definitely knock him out with the Shadow Ball potentially. So he's going to end up going for the U-turn here. I believe he ends up bringing in the Dugtrio, which is actually a little bit annoying. Like, I was really debating on what exactly I should bring in here, and ultimately I decided to bring in my Obstagoon. Now, I do have the Shucka Berry on my Colossal, but I didn't want to risk Flamethrower not knocking out the Dugtrio. But after checking a calc real quickly, knockoff should be able to one-shot this Dugtrio, unless he has the focus hash. However, though, he decides to go for Stealth Rocks, which honestly is perfectly fine by me, because this means my Obstagoon is going to be able to get out of this exchange with most likely my full HP intact. Like, if he has Sucker Punch, that's fine. It's not going to be doing much damage at all. Either way, I'm going to knock out this Dugtrio, and that is one giant threat gone. The only other issue now is going to be that Cinderace. But the nice thing of me getting rid of Dugtrio now is that my Arctozolt in the back can click Bolt Break. Is it Bolt Break or Bolt Beak? I think it's Bolt Beak. Bolt Beak for free, which is amazing because he has no switching to that whatsoever as he brings in Darmanitan. I'm hoping I can win the speed tie here, but no, never get lucky with the 50-50s, and he's going to be able to just barely fail on knocking me out, which is kind of good for me because I can at least knock off something that's coming in, although it would have been really nice to knock off the Scarf on the Darmanitan potentially, but it is what it is as I get rid of what I believe was leftovers on the Corviknight. Unfortunately, he knows that I'm locked into knockoff, and if this thing starts going for bulk ups, that's going to be really bad for me. So I make an aggressive switch here directly into my Arctozolt, thinking he would go for the bulk up, but he actually ends up going for the roost. And this is amazing because I'm gonna go straight for the bulk beak. I am definitely faster than him. I am max speed. This is double the power with Life Orb. There is nothing at all on his team that is going to be switching into this. Sack off the Cinderace, sack off Darmanitan, or better yet, sack off this Corviknight because I already got bodied by one, if you guys saw one of my previous Wi-Fi battles. So down goes Corviknight. We got some justice against that thing, and that is one setup threat out of the way. As back comes the Cinderace, I figured that maybe I still have use for my Arctozolt later in the battle, so I'm going to switch out, just sack off my Obstagoon because I'm going to get knocked out by rocks anyways, and then this now allows me to bring in my Coalossal. And I'm a very bulky, well, I'm mixed defensive, and by the way, Shiny Coalossal actually looks really awesome. I love the shade that its body is. I don't know if it's like a blue or a blackish tint, but it looks really awesome. So I bring in my Coalossal here. I figured I should be able to live any hit this thing wants to go for, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Rock Tomb in hopes that I can knock him out. But he actually switches into his Frostmoth, which I am okay with because that thing just drops immediately, which is amazing. I was actually very close to going for my Dynamax there. Kind of happy I didn't, because this means now I can have an extra turn of Dynamax if it really comes down to it. As in comes Darmanitan. These do typically carry Earthquake, but what he does not know is that I actually have the Shucka Berry on my Coalossal. So I was thinking about it and I figured, okay, this is probably my chance to go ahead and go for my Gigantamax, because with my HP doubled, I am gonna guarantee live an Earthquake thanks to the Shucka Berry. Like, even if it crits me, I avoid the entire scenario of getting knocked out by going for the Gigantamax here. With the Shucka Berry still intact, I should be in a pretty good spot. If for some reason he wants to go for U-turn, Cinderace coming in is going to get destroyed. And oh my lord, Gigantamax Coalossal actually looks really awesome. I love that design. So he goes for the Earthquake. Of course, we're going to be able to live this regardless of what happens. Didn't matter if it crit me there. He wasn't banded as we figured out earlier. So always going to be able to live the hit there. Down goes Galarian Darmanitan. And at this point, his last Pokemon is going to be the Cinderace. Unfortunately, if he does end up Dynamaxing, which I'm pretty sure he's going to have to if he wants to have a chance to win, then if my Coalossal drops to the Cinderace, I'm pretty sure I just lose, because what I have left is a Phalanx and a Gengar and a Arctozolt, all three of which are really not that bulky. They're going to take Stealth Rocks damage, and they don't outspeed Cinderace. Speaking of Cinderace, is it just me, or does it feel like they spent a bit more time on Cinderace's animations and stuff? Because that's what I feel like happened. Like, it has its own unique, well, I want to say unique, but like, you can kind of tell they put more effort into certain aspects of it than like any of the other Pokemon. So yeah, I don't know, do you guys kind of feel like that as well? But we're able to live the hit. We go for our Gmax signature move, and down goes the Cinderace. I did not expect Coalossal to put in so much work in this battle. I was able to get the final 3 KOs and definitely save us from getting absolutely destroyed by Cinderace there at the end. So very good game to my buddy Kurt the Buzzwole. I think he does upload So I'll leave that down in the description for you guys to go ahead and check out. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, hammer arm that thumbs up button down below. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the current status of the metagame? Do you like it? Do you dislike it more than you did from the beginning of the generation? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. So later, everybody.
Because my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping.